Hey, what's going on, guys? Richie Figs here, back with another video. Today we are going to be covering what we know so far from another figure from the Wave 3. In fact, it's the only figure we haven't covered yet, and a figure that hasn't really gotten a ton of coverage, to be honest. So probably best that we're doing this just because there's not a lot of information out there about him. We are talking about DEEJAY, and yeah, it's hard with this one just because there's not a lot out there about him. Even in like the other interviews, like every interview I've watched with June, don't hear a lot about DEEJAY. Like he'll show him a little bit, and that's it. Like just not a lot of information. So I don't know if it's just there's not a lot of substance there, which kind of seems like what it is, but we'll talk about it. Let's take a look. Taking a look at the first photo here, as always, not an official promo shot from Jada, just from some concept art that I happened to stumble upon, and believe it or not, it is accurate. So I don't know what to take on these. Like, they're totally different than any of the other promo shots that we see out there, but they're just, I don't know, they're strangely accurate to what is actually coming with the figure. So take with what is stamped on it as official, not final. This is not official this is not official photos from the actual Jada or anything like that, but it is extremely accurate, so we can talk about it. So looking at the packaging, obviously there's going to be consistency there because they haven't changed it throughout the whole cycle of all these figures. Looks good though. I like that picture of DEEJAY. Again, I just don't have a lot of nostalgia with DEEJAY. Like, I forget he's even on the roster half the time, but this figure is cool nonetheless. Like, I like the big beefy model. To me, this kind of I mean, there might be a lot of reuse here, to be honest. And maybe that's why there's just not a lot of talking about it, just because it looks like it could be reused body mold without the gi top, obviously, but the pants could be reused there. Maybe from Ken, because reuse had tattered and Ken's were smooth at the bottom. But he does get an additional head. First male figure I have seen that gets an open, growling mouth. So that's nice to see. Instead of, not all guys grit their teeth when we're mad. Sometimes we let out a primal roar when we're ready to rumble, like this guy right here. So that's cool. It's nice to see that. And from what I understand, I don't think the one, the standing, like the smiling head sculpt has bendy wire. I could be wrong, but I think the screaming head sculpt does actually have some bendy wire in the hair. But they both might. I just don't recall exactly 100% what he said. He does get a cool effect with him. I actually like this one a lot. I don't know why, but it's just different. It's different than what we've seen so far. And then looks like he gets some alternate hands, pointing hand, and maybe a thumbs up. Is that a thumbs up? We'll go with the thumbs up on that one. But I like his background too. That background is something pretty interesting too. It's like a Brazil, or I don't know where he's from, but it's got like a jungle background. And yeah, I like this figure a lot. It looks really good here. Let's take a look at the other promo shot. Taking a look at this photo here. Now, this is official from Jada because this is from the London Toy Fair picture, and it is the exact same thing. Like I said, I think the other photo has the head on the left side of him, but on this one, it's on the right. But everything here, it checks out. I mean, you got the additional hands, the screaming head sculpt, the effect, and the background. So I don't know what those other photos are, but they're extremely accurate and quite frankly kind of look a little bit better, but this is it. So nothing new here. Looking good. Let's take a look at the actual figure. Here is one of the other photos from the London Toy Fair. As you can see, DEEJAY here actually standing in front of the packaging that we were talking about earlier. But looking at this photo, it does look like that hair is standing, so it looks like you can actually just do what I think it's all bendy wire. I think both head sculpts are going to be bendy wire, so that's pretty cool. Again, the durability to me is going to be a question on how it holds up, if it starts to rip, if it starts to tear, if it starts to fall off, but time will tell. Yeah, looks good. One of the earliest photos that we have of DEEJAY here from SDCC. Again, the bendy wire hair, you can see there. I like he's got the alternate hands on in this photo. Obviously an earlier prototype just because you can see the pins in the figure. As we all know, Jada does not do pins, but as a prototype, I'm sure there's pins in those ones. So I like the figure a lot. I especially like this yelling head sculpt. Again, we don't have any other figures that have these yelling head sculpts. I'd like to see them implement more of the open mouth, like, screaming head sculpts. I believe we do get in the Player 2 Deluxe Edition, Fei Long, he gets a screaming head sculpt, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just a better look to me, like, in some of these. And I think Blanca, but he's not out yet. But from the ones that we've gotten so far, just the gritting teeth. So it's nice to see a change here. And the colors, everything looking really good, especially for an early prototype. Guys, heading back over to the London Toy Fair photos, I wanted to emphasize this picture specifically just because of the necklace. You actually get to see that here. Again, you just don't really see that on a lot of the main retail blast figures, like NECA and some of the, like, higher scale stuff, yes, but like the Mattel, the Hasbros, you don't see this cool extra stuff, especially at the price point. Like, you get the extra hands, the extra head, you get real, like, I know that's not like real metal, but like metal looking movable, pliable necklace, and if, like, it's the whole package here. I'm shocked at that we're still getting everything that we're getting at this price point, but that's Jada. Here is another photo from the London Toy Fair, and I like the stance of this one. I just kind of getting all the angles here from the photos that we have. Like I said, there's just not a lot on DEEJAY. He's been skimped on. He's been, he's kind of been left in the shadows. I don't know why. Like I said, it is kind of like what we've seen so far. Like, there's not a lot of new here, but at the same time, there is, to me. Like, he looks like I don't know, like, looking at Fei Long and Ryu, maybe Ken has that, maybe that is Ken. I don't know, I'm kind of looking at my figure here and looking at the photo at the same time. I think this might be the Ken and Ryu body mold, so, but I like this one a lot. For not even having a lot of nostalgia to the figure or the character itself, I like this guy a lot. Like, this might be a sleeper for me come 2024. But again, with this Wave 3, if I haven't mentioned it yet this video, these are expected to hit retail. Should be anywhere from June to August in that middle summertime. But obviously anything can happen. But yeah, so far, that's the schedule, and I like this photo. Every photo I see, I get a little more excited for this guy. And that is going to be kind of the breakdown and what we know so far about this DEEJAY figure coming up. Didn't have a lot of excitement for this guy when initially announced, just because, again, wasn't a character I used tremendously a lot in the roster growing up. And there just hasn't been a lot of coverage to really hype him up that much. But looking at the photos, kind of doing this little research on him, I've actually become quite excited for this. As I learned that the hair was bendy wire watching one of the interviews with June. I like the screaming head sculpts just because, again, it's different from any of the other head sculpts we've seen so far. I like this effect, again, because it's different than the other effects that we've seen so far. So while there is a lot in the same as far as the body, there are some differences here that make it enough for me. And I like the bright colors, and I like just the head sculpt itself is cool looking. Like, there's just a lot here, but not a lot, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy these. Like I said, these are just fun breakdowns. I don't know if you guys would want me to do Blanca and Sagat or Vega. Just because there is not a lot of photos out there, just because they are so new. There's not one of these promotional pictures like that out there. We have seen some box art, so we don't have one of these not final concept arts out there, but we do have some other concept of the boxes and stuff like that. So let me know in the comments below if we can get this video to 60 likes. That'll let me know that you want me to do either Blanca, Sagat, or Vega next. And just to kind of go over a recap of what's going on with Jada as far as their Street Fighter line, nothing, no news from the update. It's been another week and another blank. Nothing. I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked that we have not heard any type of pre-order news, at least even pre-order, as these were talked about hitting stores in March for Dalsim and M. Bison. Like, if you type in those and type Jada Toys into your Google search, there are all sorts of pre-orders everywhere for, like, these different foreign companies, but there is nothing U.S. retail for Dalsim and M. Bison. So that leads me to believe maybe they didn't get those submitted in time before the Chinese New Year's. I don't know what's going on there, but that was their goal. In the last interview in December, June was saying that he wanted to get the final the final submission in for production and shipping before Chinese New Year, and I don't know if that happened or not. Just haven't seen a lot. There was an interview he did earlier this year in January. I forget the name of the channel he was on, but he didn't, I don't know, there wasn't a lot there, a lot of new things that really was talked about, just kind of some more reiteration of what we already know. But yeah, there's just been nothing. We've heard nothing about the Deluxe Player 2. We've heard nothing about Dhalsim. We've heard nothing about M. Bison. So I'm not concerned. It's just more, I'm waiting. I'm sitting here waiting. I'm wondering when is it going to be? Like, I know they're coming, but the fact that we just have not heard any Jada news other than like their Mega Man line and the Chester Cheeto was even last year, 2023, but I have not heard anything as far as actual product. And Ken has been hard as hell still for people to find, but it seems like more people are finding him, but still hard. So that's where we're at. That's the update. The update is there is no update as far as anything new. Should there be anything that comes of value or announcements that I feel like that need to be reported on, I will do that. But other than that, that's it. This might have been a little bit of a longer video for a figure that we don't have tremendously a lot of news on, but hey, that's what it was. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you made it this far, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to keep seeing these as they come up, go ahead and hit subscribe. We're close to 200, so if we can get there, cool. If not, that's okay too. I love you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Richie Figs. Later.